All right. Yeah, so hopefully everyone's doing good. I just want to share a quick productivity with the Pareto principle. This is the book, part of the book I'm reading is called The One Thing. And break it down, boil it down. It's all about figuring out what is your one thing you need to focus on. There's going to be a lot of distractions, a lot of to-do list. And in this chapter, he goes over, I added it on the GroupMe. It's on the meetings. I'll just briefly run through it. I put it down as the title, productivity. But they just go over, as you guys know, with the 80-20 rule, 20% of the most productive things is being done from those top 20. Okay, so same thing like in the agency building, out of 100,000, your 20% will be from your top producers. Okay, now if you apply it to your end from your individual perspective, a majority of what you want will come from the minority of what you do. So 20% of your efforts yields 80 to 90% plus of your results. Okay, so he said, just don't get hung up on the numbers. It's all about identifying it and doing a lot of it. All right, so doing a lot of the one main thing. So he talked about, okay, if you're making your list, okay, do your to-do list. Okay, Stephen Covey uses this point as well. Identifying the four quadrants, right? Important, not important, urgent, not urgent. Okay, so he just, of course, he didn't want to copy him, so he put could do, should do. Okay, so look at all the lists that you're doing for the business, making calls, making dials, calling the carriers, talking to your agents. Okay, figuring out product knowledge, learning about products. Okay, what should you do? What could you do? And out of all those things, put it on your success list, and you start organizing and prioritizing it. Okay, so your to-do list becomes a success list as you prioritize it. And then he went into an example of this guy through GM, and he just talked about more about confining that. So you created your 20% list, and out of the 20% list, find that, turn that at 100% again, and look for the 80-20 in it, and zoom in even more. So out of that 20%, find that 20%, which is going to be the 1%. Okay, so you can then narrow it down to what is the most important thing for you. That becomes the one thing. So just apply this into your business. There's a lot of factors and a lot of variables that can happen in our business. We're coming into the holidays. Now you're thinking about, shoot, now I gotta take care of the kids. The kids might be home, right? They're gonna be off. How do I work with the kids being home? Now I gotta go shopping. Now I gotta do this. So big idea is go small. Don't focus on being busy. Focus on being productive. So allow what matters most to drive your day, and then go extreme. Once you figure that out of what actually means and matters, keep asking what matters the most until there's only one thing left. And then, be strong about saying no to things. Whether you say later or never, the point is not now to anything else that you could do on your most important task time. So another book that talked about this from Kinder, he talked about the task and identifying the task as a red light, green light, yellow light. Okay, red light means you can put it off. Green light means it's the most productive. Yellow light is important, but you can put it off as well. So focus on what's going to be the green light is the most productive, and then don't get trapped in the checkoff game. It's good to have all these to-do lists, but if one of your to-do lists is to do laundry, do you need to do that at the prime hours at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or you could do that like at 11 p.m. Set it and wake up in the morning for it, right? So that's the main factor. I'd like for you guys to start looking in for December on what will be the to-do list for you, what will be the most important things, and apply it into your work. Okay, what is going to be your number one productive effort? And sometimes, even look at it when you're making calls, when you're making dials, when you're looking at your clients. Really analyze what's happening into your business. What type of clients are you really selling? Okay, start having a little bit of a numbers game into this. What category of these clients are you appealing to? What demographic? Okay, are you really good with your demographic of the business owners or the working class or the senior clients? Okay, are you having good traction with people on trailer homes, people that are at homes? Are you having good tractions on people living in apartments? Okay, so look at the minute details of your sales. see if there's a common factor, and then you focus on that. Okay, so now, are you doing really good on referrals? Okay, what type of referrals are you getting? What type of wordings and sayings are you doing? Okay, Jason, he had a good door knocking day yesterday. Just to add to the fact that we were having a conversation, and he's really good at it. Okay, now you're like, no, not really. You do it, right? You do the door knock, and then when he's door knocking, he's looking at us like, okay, what can I be saying on this? How can I fine tune this? Okay, so now your focus is the one thing, and look, whether he's good or not, he showed up. He got a lot of Trisha's call from last Thursday, and out of that, he started taking out his laptop, trying to present on the spot. He got to book 4, so now his focus on that one thing is, how do I just present on the spot? How do I get it done now instead of having to come back? So just zoom in and narrow in on who your prime market, who's your target market, what do you excel in, and then it could just be that one small thing that, like, flip it. Okay, if you're really good at these working class, like, man, you start talking to a lot of working class people, and then boom, you got a bunch of sales coming out of that. You're really good at, like, back in our old company, they called it trailer knocking. They would go to mobile homes and just go trailer knock. If you could just trailer knock and you focus on that, sure, you don't need to call 8 hours, 12 hours a day. You just go to one spot, had 100 units, you go door to door, finish that up in 2 hours. You might have 10, 15,000 AP right there, right? So think bigger. I had a session with Elise that she kind of just gave an idea of about small business. She was saying, if you go to your chamber of commerce, you can actually go and find a list of all the business owners in the chamber of commerce. And you could maybe try to give them a call, see if you can do a group presentation. Okay, I've had some agents, they just focused on the church. They tried to do a church presentation, some associations. So think about that one thing that might change your future. It might change an appointment to a demographic that you have a connection with, and it'll turn out some AP for you. Okay, so any comments, any concerns, anything you guys want to share? We got a few minutes to elaborate. Feel free. We're good? Yeah, so just think about it. Look into what's your one thing. What is the most productive thing that you could do? What could be the one thing that you could bring in a lot of business of? All right, so I'll see you guys next week.